There are two moments from my life that show me drastically the difference between low self-esteem and high self-esteem. And I always thought, I was pretty good on the self-esteem. I was doing okay. But I ran across a video from my second wife, my ex-wife. And at the time I was playing pro golf and I was playing a practice round. We're in the cart and I'm sitting there talking about what kind of shot I want to hit and all of that. And she's sitting there with me and she's filming me as I talk about this. And she begins to say the most kind and loving thing, something every man would love to hear from their wife, or a woman, similarly would love to hear from their husband. She just paused in the middle of it and she goes, "Kenny, I just adore you. I love you so much." And the video is on me. She's filming me, so you can't see her. And I'm staring, I'm at the cart, I'm staring straight ahead. And without saying a word or anything, I never even acknowledged it. I didn't even let it in. And it's funny, we spend all our lives, especially when we have low self-esteem, wanting praise, wanting approval. Yet when somebody says it, we don't even acknowledge it. We don't even let it in. And here I was, somebody who thought I had high self-esteem, and I couldn't even accept this wonderful compliment. It just went blank because, as I see now, I didn't love who I was. So I couldn't hear from somebody else that I was adorable or loving or any of that. I was a wall. It didn't have any effect on me. The day I knew I had self-esteem, when I had finally conquered it and faced my demons and worked through things so that I could actually love myself, was a similar experience. I was in a networking meeting, and a client of mine, a guy who played pro golf, he just randomly stood up and he goes, "I've worked with the top golf psychologists in the industry, and if you know anything about golf, you know what their names are." And he said, "I learned more from Kenny in 30 minutes than all the years I spent working with all of them." And the second he said it, the feeling I got inside was this massive warmth. And I literally said to myself, I went, "I know." See, that sounds very cocky and arrogant, but I know what my abilities are. I've gained the self-esteem within myself to know that I'm very skilled at what I do. And so when he heard it, it wasn't the fact that he said it. Like, that's the problem, is when we have low self-esteem, we want everyone to tell us, "Please tell me how great I am. I need approval. I need affirmation. I need it from outside. I need your validation." Well, that's low self-esteem. I'm needing you to validate me for me to feel good about myself. But in that moment when he said it, the massive warmth that came over me, I went, "Oh my God, I've done it. I have learned to validate myself from inside." And so this compliment, while it's nice to hear from somebody, it's just a confirmation of what I already feel about myself. And so that's the key. True self-esteem is when we receive a compliment and we hear it as something we already know about ourselves. And we're not seeking that validation from somebody else, whether it's an award, anything. If we're ever looking for outside validation, that's the trigger for low self-esteem. And so pay attention to that. If you're not in a place, if you're like I was, like during that marriage, the whole 5 love languages, words of affirmation, she would shower me with words of affirmation and I couldn't let them in because I had low self-esteem. I didn't believe it about myself. I didn't believe I was adorable and sweet and all the wonderful things she said. So I couldn't accept it. So look in your life. What happens when you're complimented? Do you get that warm feeling and go, "Yeah, that's me. I love that I know it about me. It's nice that you say it, but what's really nice is I already know that about me"? Or do you go blank and numb, or do you not even acknowledge it, or do you negate it and argue with them? If that's where you are, then self-esteem would be an opportunity of growth for you. And the way to get that self-esteem is to become an expert in the areas in our life that have caused us pain. Emotional mastery, that's it. There's only one way to gain self-esteem. We have to go back and heal all the wounds from our past that we pushed down. We bring them back up. We reorient the emotion around them. We learn to accept the other person, but most of all, accept ourselves and forgive ourselves. And when we have that emotional mastery, when we have the ability to accept even the most broken, imperfect aspects of ourselves and no longer feel guilt and shame over our perfect imperfections, when we hear a compliment, we'll go, yep, that's me. So I hope that's where you are. If it's not, let me know. I have a book, I have programs. That's what I help people with, and I'd love to help you have that same experience. It's a wonderful experience. So I hope you're having a great day.